Hi everyone, and welcome to week 2 of my Establishing Routines and Getting Healthy Together series. It is Sunday, March 6th. This will be uploaded on Monday the 7th, and I just wanted to give a quick high-level overview of how last week went before we get into the nitty-gritty details. So first of all, I was able to prioritize a lot more self-care this week than I was last week. I don't think there was a single day that I didn't eat at the time that I was hungry or found ways to eat at more appropriate times. I also was able to meditate more. I kept my space more clean and organized, and meal prepping really helped quite a bit. I was able to really stay on top of my meals, know what I was getting, and have less excuses for a delayed meal. I also got to have a girls' night out with some of my coworkers, which was really nice. So still found a way to incorporate, seeing friends and eating out into this week, in addition to Chipotle, which I love. So I was excited to have a little bit of Chipotle this week. I hit all 7 of my workouts this week, which was great, Sunday through Saturday. And that's everything this week. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm loving being able to share all of this with you, and I'm hopeful that we can kind of continue to build a community and build the conversation around how we can actually become that girl and create and establish those healthy routines that allow for us to be the person that we want to be. Good morning. It's Sunday, February 27th. Last night I went out to a restaurant in DC called El Teco and had some tacos and some margaritas and danced with my friends. It was really fun. Made it home right before midnight, which was great. Got a good night's sleep, and now I'm going to be spending the day just kind of resetting for the week, cleaning up, buying groceries, etc., etc. Today was a nice, easy cardio, abs, and glute day, and after I finished this workout, I finally made my way to the grocery store where I was able to restock my very, very empty fridge. Okay, just got home from the grocery store and gonna do a little show and tell of what I got. I spent $91 on all of these things. Everything that I got at the grocery store this week was for one of a few recipes. So I was planning this week to make chicken tikka masala from scratch, a kale and fruit chicken salad. I also got a couple of little things I just needed for around the house, and then also ingredients for homemade juices. So that includes like celery, the apples, the lemon, the cucumber, all of those good things go into my homemade juice. Later, I worked on my tikka masala recipe. This is a recipe I got from the website Feasting at Home, and every single thing I've ever made from that site is my favorite thing I've ever made in my life. So this, thankfully, recipe makes an insane amount of food, and so I knew that it was going to definitely feed me and keep me well fed for the entire week. I also love this recipe because unless you add chicken like I was planning to do, it is completely vegan. So it's a great option for vegans, vegetarians, or anyone looking to limit some of their meat. On Monday, I started my morning and my week off on the right note with a meditation, and then had a little bit of extra time to prep the food that would go into my salad eventually. So that was some strawberries, some chicken, and the dressing that will go on the kale salad. I also made a latte and some medium boiled eggs for myself. And then for lunch, I went ahead and assembled the entire salad. So it's kale, dressing, strawberries, shallot, chicken thigh, chickpeas, goat cheese, slivered almonds, and peaches. So I had the tikka masala again tonight. This is the leftover sauce. I had a little bit of chicken, chickpeas, and I had some leftover butternut squash as well. I did just a little bit of rice, and then today I wanted to kind of be a little bit more mindful of my carb intake. I didn't feel so great when I woke up in the morning. This is cauliflower rice. It's frozen cauliflower rice. You just heat it up in the microwave. I kind of dried it out with a paper towel. I just did like 2/3 cauliflower rice, 1/3 of rice, and then some meat, sauce, chickpeas. And it was very filling. I loved it. Probably gonna do it for lunch. It's 9:15 and I'm hopping into bed to do a little bit of reading. I typically start to get bored around this time if I don't have like a show that I'm really attached to watching, and I can feel myself getting bored and starting to just snack because of it. So I had like a handful of pistachios and a couple of spoonfuls of half-baked Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I didn't finish the glass of wine that I had. I had one and maybe a half glasses and put the rest back just because again, I'm trying to kind of listen to my body and recognize the cues. I can tell that I'm just eating and drinking out of boredom and there's not really a need. I'm not even really enjoying it while I'm doing it. So I went ahead and get myself into bed now. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, March 1st, and it's about 10 a.m. I've been working for about an hour and a half now. I had to log on a little bit early. I did have an urgent email come through that needed attention, so my morning was a little bit off. I did go to the gym. I did have my leg day. I will say I did far fewer lunges than I had done when I did the same workout on Tuesday. I was just so sore that I knew that doing that again was not going to be conducive to like maintaining this routine. So I decided to just do a little bit less. I can slowly build back up. I just want to make sure that I'm actually able to like walk and sit and stand. I did not meditate this morning, just again, because as soon as I got back, I took a shower. I still have soaking wet hair, didn't even have time to blow dry. Started working. So now I'm going to go ahead and get into my morning routine. So I'm going to make myself some coffee. I'm going to put my computer down for 5 minutes and do a quick meditation, and hopefully that can kind of help reset the rest of the day. That is cauliflower rice. You can see it's got a very cauliflowery color and texture to it, and that is white rice. So I'm doing like a little bit of both. That way I can still have some rice and have some carbs, but I'm also kind of loading up on the veggies at the same time. Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's about 8:15 in the morning and I am getting ready for the day. I have an early meeting this morning, so I skipped the gym. I'm gonna work out ideally around like lunchtime, maybe if I have to after work. And I wanted to spend a couple minutes this morning cleaning up. You can see like I've got some dirty clothes and some boxes that need to be moved. Next, I made my juice, and I make this with an apple, about a whole lemon, a little bit of ginger, some cucumber, and some celery. And I just use my little juicer machine, and I swear this is like the yummiest recipe. I'm sorry, but you cannot tell me that there's literally anything better than that. All right, it's about 5 o'clock and I wanted to have a little snack, kind of just sit down, relax, do a little bit more work when no one else is logged on. So I've got some bread, some salt and pepper pistachios, some cheeses, some meats, and I'm just gonna munch for a little bit. Good evening. It is 7:30. Wow, I thought it was at least 8:30. And I'm just really not feeling very good today. I had that really big salad and it was delicious, but as soon as I ate it, my stomach kind of started bothering me. I tried to have some of that cheese and meats and stuff for a snack, but that wasn't really feeling great either. So I think I'm just gonna take a bath and read. I've got the water running right now. Just try to relax a little bit, see if I get an appetite later, but I'm not gonna force myself to eat or anything if that's not necessarily something that my body's interested in right now. After my bath, I did a face mask and relaxed on the couch with a glass of wine. As a reminder, I am following a guided workout routine and schedule, and if you're interested in joining along, you can find the link to that schedule in the notes below. Good morning. Today's Thursday, March 3rd, and I just finished an arm workout, got ready for work. I'm gonna be drinking the rest of the juice that I made yesterday and make myself a cup of coffee and some eggs. Too busy recording Callie to remember to record tikka masala for lunch. It is now 5:30 and I'm logging off of work. It's been a good week. I am kind of hungry. I don't normally eat this early or get this hungry this early, but I think I'm gonna make myself some mac and cheese because I've been thinking about it again. Is that gross? I really don't care. To go alongside my macaroni and cheese, I made some more chicken thighs with a little bit of roasted garlic on the side and microwaved a bag of green beans. Happy Friday. I'm going to have a quick bite to eat. I think I'm just gonna finish the mac and cheese from last night just to get something in my belly. I have a meeting coming up. It is Friday at about 5 o'clock and I've logged off of work and have decided that I'm gonna have an early dinner of that kale salad. I really wanted to get something good, something green, some veggies into my belly since I only had the macaroni and cheese for lunch. I'm really craving Chipotle for some reason, and I think I'm probably gonna end up getting it for a late dinner. So I wanna make sure that I fill up on something actually healthy and substantial, and then that way, if I do decide to get Chipotle later, I probably will be less likely to gorge on the entire thing in one sitting, which often leaves me feeling really uncomfortable. I just got into bed. I did a little foam spray tan before getting into bed because I wanted to just have a little glow. It was a little self-care moment for me. I was super bummed because I walked all the way to Chipotle. I had that big salad around 5 and did start to get hungry around 8 o'clock-ish, and so I walked to Chipotle and got there and they had no white rice and no guacamole. Instead, I made a little bit of penne and put a little bit of butter over it. Super simple, not a ton of extra food. The salad really did fill me up quite a bit. Had a little bit of ice cream while I watched some TV before going to bed. Good morning, it's Saturday and Callie and I went for a nice walk this morning to Caboose, which is the nearby cafe and brewery, and had a cup of coffee. I've just been sitting on the couch cuddling with her and now I'm getting ready to go to the gym. So first I'm gonna put a load in for laundry and then head downstairs to do my cardio day. It's 1 o'clock and I am showered and ready for the rest of the day. I had a great workout. I'm on my second load of laundry. Callie and I had a really great walk this morning and it's a beautiful day outside. So I think I'm gonna walk to Chipotle to try round 2, see if they have the ingredients that I like in my bowl, and I'm ready to take on the rest of my to-do list today. Yay, I'm so happy. They had everything that I wanted. So this bowl is white rice, black beans, no meat. I swapped out of eating meat at Chipotle back when I was just not eating meat at all, and I haven't reintroduced it because I just love this bowl the way that it is. Tomatoes, corn, cheese, and guac with a tortilla on the side, and a large Diet Coke. Is this the healthiest thing in the world? Absolutely not, but does it make me happy? 100%. I finished dinner. I had some of that leftover penne that I had last night, a chicken breast that I just baked in the oven really quick, and some green beans with butter. And now I'm hopping in the bath. I'm going to do some reading and gonna relax a little bit before heading back to the couch for the rest of the night. I will say that I didn't really feel great throughout the entire week. I think that's largely because I'm kind of PMSing. The exhaustion from just like going from 3 to 4 days a week working out to working out 7 days a week has really been kind of messing with my stomach. And so a lot of days food just really didn't settle well with my stomach. And that was something I really took into consideration for this week's meal prep. I picked a lot of meals that had a little bit more balance. I think what had happened in this week's meal, week 2's meal prep, was that I went really fiber heavy really fast. And I had a kale salad almost every day this week. I was eating tons of chickpeas, butternut squash, a lot of fresh ginger, and I think that just really was overwhelming to my stomach. Now, nothing wrong with all of those things, and I know that they were way healthier options than what I'm used to eating, but I do think that I should have been a little bit more mindful to slowly engage my body in those types of foods and not just be super fiber focused super fast. So this week I've cut back a little bit in those and definitely prioritize meals that are a little bit more well-rounded. I am also though going to be prioritizing a little bit fewer carbs. I noticed that I felt very heavy and bloated most days when I woke up, and it's just not a comfortable feeling for me. And even though I'm working out really very consistently and doing a great job in the gym, I just felt like maybe the food I was eating was kind of a little too carb heavy. That tikka masala, I was eating a lot of rice. Even when I was cutting it with cauliflower rice, I think my portions were probably too big. I still don't want to be calorie counting. That's definitely not something I want to be doing. But without calorie counting, I want to be able to visually see, okay, this is too much food. Because what I noticed this last week was if I put it on my plate, 9 times out of 10, I ended up eating the entire thing. And sometimes my eyes are just so much bigger than my stomach, but I did not do a great job with the intuitive eating side of things, where I intuitively would stop consuming something once I was full. Instead, this week, I found myself gorging on food, even when I didn't need it, even when I wasn't hungry anymore. And I think that also contributed to some of my stomach issues and some of the bloating that I experienced. I did also want to note that even though this is not specifically weight loss focused, I did gain 1% about of my weight back from last week. Again, I think that's largely due to the fact that my body was not really responding well to the foods that I was feeding it this week. I've been PMSing and started my period today, so that is something that typically puts a little extra weight on for me. And I'm also working out far heavier and far more consistently than I have in months recently. Not to say that I think I'm already gaining like pounds in muscle. I definitely don't think that that's the case just yet. But I will say that I think my body is just adjusting. There's a new level of stress on my body. Work's been stressful. I don't have the best sleep routine. Definitely something that I'm working on. So I do think that gaining that little bit of weight back is a signal that I need to be a little bit more mindful about, reducing stress on my body. And again, prioritizing even more of that self-care time. My goals for week 3 are really going to be to do an even better job of meal prepping. So I've actually prepared a more thorough grocery list and clearer boundaries on what I'm going to be eating, when I'm going to be eating it. I think that one thing I still struggled with this week was I ate a lot of macaroni and cheese because it's super easy to cook. It's something I can whip up pretty mindlessly, and it makes a fair amount of food. And I think I did that because there were a couple of times where the kale salad, I had to still put all the ingredients together, and that sounds like such a silly problem, but it was enough of a roadblock for me. So this week I'm planning to pre-portion out my meals, have everything ready to go. All I need to do is toss it in the microwave or put it in a bowl and eat it, as opposed to chopping up vegetables and chopping up fruits and portioning out, cheeses and meats and stuff. I want to make sure that I really make it as easy on myself as possible. I'm also hopeful this week to really hit it even harder in the gym. You know, I'm really proud of myself for being consistent these last 2 weeks. The program that I'm doing is a 10-week program, so I'm already 1/5 of the way done. I do, though, want to make sure that I'm using my time in the gym effectively and I'm not just going there and mindlessly going through the motions. So I think I'm going to up my weights this week, do a little bit heavier of lifts, think that I could really benefit from pushing myself a little bit harder. And that's going to be a balance because, again, I do want to reduce stress on my body, so it's going to kind of be a balancing act. And I think one thing that I'm going to do this week to try to prioritize reducing stress is also to cut back on screen time. I spent a lot of time on my phone, over 6 hours a day. I will say that I film on my phone, so that is also something to consider. But moral of the story being that of the hours that I'm awake, half of them, my phone is involved in some way. And so I definitely want to cut back on that. Going to try to prioritize less screen time when it comes to also the television and the computer, and focus again on reading more and playing with Callie more and engaging more without my phone. So that's everything for week 2. Come back next week on Monday for week 3's recap, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Have a great week.